All right, recording in progress. And I'll let in the last couple people and we'll get rolling because we just have 1 hour together. And I know some of you have a class to go teach shortly after this. So we'll get going. So hello again, everyone, and welcome. My name is Tiffany Ross. I'm the manager of network learning and development for MCAEL. And I'm so happy to be here with you all. As a former instructor myself, it always feels so good to be in a shared space with fellow instructors. And sharing sessions happen to be some of my very favorite sessions, especially when we get to talk about topics like classroom engagement. So if you're here, just a heads up, this is interactive and this is really an opportunity. It's less about me presenting to you, but you really sharing your challenges and promising practices with one another. And I'm here to facilitate that process for you. Okay. So since I saw several new people sign up, and this may be your first time coming to a MCAEL event, I figured I'd start by asking by a show of hands, or you can use your raise hand feature here on Zoom. Who here is a part of the MCAEL Coalition? If you are a part of the MCAEL Coalition, please raise your hand.
What does that mean, Tiffany?
Oh, great follow-up question. So I will explain, but I see 1, 2, 3 hands. And once I explain it, I see Andy and Mary and Peggy. After I explain it, I expect to see a few more hands. So it's a trick question. The answer is all of you. All of us are part of the MCAEL Coalition. So I'll ask again by show of hands, who's a part of the MCAEL Coalition? Yeah, that's the spirit. There we go. So the MCAEL Coalition really includes everyone who is a program administrator or an instructor and even a student within a Montgomery County adult ESL or adult ESOL program. So you are a part of the coalition. I know, who knew, right? Yes, I like the celebrating and all of that. Yes. So what does that even mean? So a coalition, the coalition was formed, I think 20 plus years ago by Montgomery County. And they noticed that there are a lot of adult ESOL programs throughout the county, and they weren't collaborating and interacting with each other. So the county said we need a convening body to support these programs. Right now, we have between 40 and 50 adult ESOL programs in Montgomery County that we know of, but we know there are more smaller programs that we don't know about. So as part of the coalition, you have access to our resources. So part of the resource is providing grant funding for adult ESOL programs, our professional development, which is free to all instructors teaching adult ESOL in Montgomery County. And then we also have a lot of great resources like courses and toolkits that you can find on our website that you have access to. And reach out to us. We're here to support you as coalition partners. So I'll ask one more time, who here is a part of the MCAEL Coalition? There it is. I love it. Love it. Yes, I love the heart. Oh, making my heart feel so full tonight. And I wanted to introduce someone really special who just joined our group. We have Grace, and I'm working on pronouncing her last name correctly. Help me, Grace. Karambiri. Ah, yes.
You got it. You got it.
Grace, would you like to unmute and say hi?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I am 2 days old to this position, but thank you so much for the warm welcome. And it is nice to see you all. And I'm sure that I will get to know you in the upcoming months. So thank you so much.
So we're really excited to have Grace on board as our program manager. So she's going to be doing a lot with our grant process and reaching out to our partners. So thank you, Grace, for being here. Sylvia, I see your hands up. Do you have a question, or are you raising your hand because you are a MCAEL Coalition partner? You're on mute. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that you're raising your hand as a proud part of the coalition. So if you do have a question, you can go ahead and type that there in the chat. All right, so let's get rolling. I'm going to share my screen with you. And today I'm going to be using Jamboard. I typically like to use presentations, but tonight I'm using Jamboard because it's about engagement. And this is one of the best engagement tools that I've found for engaging. If you're not familiar and you're a little intimidated about Jamboard, don't worry. It's okay. We're going to take good care of you tonight. So welcome to our sharing session on classroom engagement. Our key objectives tonight are to discuss different engagement techniques with your fellow adult ESOL instructors. And then we hope that you walk away tonight with at least one technique that you can use in your classroom to increase learner engagement. So as we go through this process, I'll be modeling different ways that you can engage your learners. And we'll debrief about the different activities. And then later you'll have an opportunity to work in small breakout groups and troubleshoot some of these areas that a lot of you had shared you're having troubles with engagement around. Okay. So we'll get started. I'm going to put up a Zoom poll, and just to get a sense of where we are in the room, I'm going to post the poll in one moment, and you'll share with us, how are you currently teaching? Online, in person, or hybrid? So I'm going to launch the poll now. And let's say we'll take 30 seconds for you to respond. Oh, we have a fourth option, not currently teaching. All right, we're at 77% participation. Good. 83%, 88%. Let's see if we can get 100. We're at 94% participation and 6 seconds to go. If you haven't responded, please do. We just hit 100%. Fantastic. Way to model engagement right from the beginning, right? So I'm going to end this poll and share the results. And can everyone see the results on the screen? You can give me a thumbs up if you can. Fantastic. Okay, so it looks like the majority of us are teaching online. Okay. And then, oh, more than I expected. 39% of us are teaching in person. Fantastic. And there are 11% who are not currently teaching. No worries. Another resource that MCAEL has is job listings and volunteer postings. So if you're looking for a role, if you're currently not teaching, check our website or reach out to me directly and we'll see who we can get you tapped into. All right, so I'm going to be clearly modeling some things online tonight, but we'll also think about how these can be adapted for in person. So I'll stop my sharing here and let's just debrief about this activity for a second. So you can come off mute because we're a small group, but does anyone currently use polls, either virtual polls or some way to do polls in your physical classroom? If you do, how are you using polls? I see Jill nodding. How do you use polls in your class, Jill?
I think sometimes it's to give a quiz as sort of a periodic assessment to see where the students are with things. And that's most of the way I use it. And sometimes it's just to reinforce what we're doing for some particular lesson.
Fantastic. Could you give us a simple example of maybe a poll you would put up?
I
know I put you on the spot.
for any particular, especially it works for grammar structures. Either something like, is this a correct sentence, yes or no, or fill in the correct form of the verb for this sentence, or modal, or whatever it is you're using.
Yeah.
And it's usually like 5 questions, and then we discuss it afterwards.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jill. And that's so great because it's a little formative assessment that you can do to check their learning, and then they get instant feedback on how they did, right? When they see those poll results. Fantastic. Does anyone else use polls either through Zoom or some kind of physical version in the classroom? This is a great engagement tool. No other poll users. That's okay. So this is something that you might want to look into and try. There are a lot of video tutorials if you're teaching online for how to set up a poll. It's pretty easy and straightforward. And just as all of you just engaged in the first few minutes of our session using poll, it's really easy to set up that for your learners as well. It could be things like, how are you feeling today? Happy, tired, bored, right? Just to get a feel for where your learners are. There's endless possibilities for polls. And if you're in a physical classroom, you can give them a sticky note. We could have written online, if we were in the place together, we could have written online, hybrid, in person on the board and given everyone a sticky note, and they could walk up to the board and put it under their answer. So there are different ways that you could use this basic idea for engagement for your learners. Fantastic. For those of you who aren't currently using polls, hearing that, what is a way that you think you might incorporate a poll in your class?
Well, I would echo what Jill said. I have used them in the past. I'm not using them as much as I used to. And hearing this discussion makes me think maybe I should get back to it more. I like to follow up, particularly the previous day's lesson, some aspect of it, asking several either multiple choice questions or as Jill said, fill in the blank kind of questions. If you're, for example, one of my classes was working on the present continuous tense, and I could have given them questions where they had to choose between the simple present and the present continuous, things like that.
Yeah, fantastic.
I thought of something.
Yes, Peggy.
I'm always trying to get feedback from my classes, like what are they more interested in learning? And sometimes it's hard to, if they're from culture that they're used to, the teacher knows everything, and who am I to tell the teacher what to teach, right? So it'd be a way of saying, how many people are interested in studying phrasal verbs versus how many people are interested in studying writing, that kind of thing. It might be a way to sort of prioritize what I'm teaching.
I love that. Yeah. And that's being very culturally aware too, right? And giving an alternative way for learners to contribute to sharing what they want to learn. I love that idea, Peggy. Great. And we have something in the chat I do as brain breaks and conversation starters. Fantastic. Amina. Bernice asked, what do you want to work on most? Very similarly to what Peggy's sharing. I'm so new, it will take me a while to incorporate anything beyond very basic strategies. Plus, I only teach conversation. No worries, Beth. You take the one that resonates with you the most and that you feel comfortable trying, and try it. And try it a couple of times, because it might not go so smoothly the first time. And if it works, then see how you can continue to incorporate it. You'll get a lot of ideas tonight, but just baby steps. Yeah. And brainstorm in any topic. Fantastic. Thank you, Chow Chow. All right, moving on. So we're going to do another little activity. This time we're going to utilize the chat. Okay. I'm calling this take 2, just for time's sake, but you can call it take 5 or take 10, however many minutes you might want this activity to be. This is a great way to do some brainstorming with your learners and engage them using the chat. So if you are new to Zoom, on the bottom, I can't see on the bottom, you'll see a little speech bubble and it says chat. So you can click on that. And you want to make sure that on the bottom of the bar, it says reply to everyone. Okay. And we're going to brainstorm for 2 minutes your response to this question. What does learner engagement look like in your classroom, right? So for example, it's hands up, it's people talking, it's people writing in their notebooks. These are just examples. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to brainstorm as many examples of what learner engagement might look like in your classroom. You're going to write your answers in the chat, but don't push enter. Don't push send. Just collect your answers there. Okay. After our 2 minutes, we'll push enter and send them all at the same time. Okay. Any questions? Any way that I can be clear about the instructions? All right. So I'm setting my timer.
Oops,
Your
I
2
forgot it on.
minutes.
You're not supposed to send it. I forgot.
What did you say?
You're not supposed to send it. I automatically sent it.
Okay, everyone can cheat off Peggy's answers. All right. Okay, 2 minutes. Thank you for modeling for us, Peggy. So just a friendly reminder,
Okay.
don't send them yet. All right, I'm setting my timer for 2 minutes and starting now. Remember not to send it yet. You're not in trouble, but try not to send it yet. Just write down as many ideas as you can think of, a little brainstorm. You have 1 minute remaining. "45 seconds, a reminder to try to hold on from pushing the enter. I know it's such a, a natural instinct now after 3 years on Zoom.
Right.
30 seconds. "15. See if you can squeeze out one more idea of what learner engagement looks like. Oh, learner engagement looks like in your classroom. Thanks to English teachers for not yelling at me for my typo. That's time. All right, everyone push send or enter. Oh, I love that. Fantastic. Great. So let's look at some of these answers about what engagement looks like. Let's see. Big smiles. Yes, that's the best. People speaking, students listening attentively while other students are speaking. Great. When students are collaborating in groups and asking questions to each other, that's so important. Sometimes when we think about engagement, we think about focus on them engaging with the content or engaging with us. But I would even argue the most important part is that they're really engaging with each other. People asking for help, folks actively listening, grouping in small groups to create attention, interactive, yes. Repeating after me, answering questions, asking questions, great. If I skip yours, it's not because I don't like it. I'm just trying to get to some other ones. Asking questions, good noise, people asking questions and laughter. Yes, let's not forget about the joy in our class. That's what really creates an engaging environment and makes learners want to keep coming back. Great. Have people talking in breakout rooms. Fantastic. So all of these are really fantastic examples. I'm going to save this chat so I can hopefully share it with you so you can see some of these examples and it'll help you frame a little bit around how you think about engagement in your classroom. Great. Please excuse my blurry slide. Let's think about, as we think about these different examples of engagement, rate your class's average overall engagement on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being minimal participation and 10 being 100% participation. Everyone's engaged. Now, this isn't meant for you to judge yourself or feel bad or insecure. But to continue to grow, it's really important that we reflect, right? So this is an opportunity for you to just think about where your class might realistically be. So to engage in this, I invite you to use the annotate feature here on Zoom. Here I am modeling a different way for engagement. So if you hover over your toolbar, you should see a little picture of a pencil. Is that how you view it on your end? Let me know if it's different. Okay, some people don't see it. I have it on my end, but it might be different on your end. Can someone who can access the annotate let us know where to find it?
The way I see it here is right in the top, it says option.
Okay, I get some thumbs up and nods. So you can click option and then can you see the pencil that says annotate? Great. And then you can just pick one of those little options, a draw or a stamp, and go ahead and mark on your screen on the blue line on a scale of 1 to 10. Where would you put the level of engagement for your classroom? Thanks, Jill. Deborah. Good. I love how people choose different whoa, we have a whole arrow.
I'm still looking for the pencil.
Okay, who can help Peggy out here? She's still trying to find hers.
Yeah, I can't find mine either.
Did you find options?
No,
No, I
Do you see
cannot.
3 dots?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when I click on it, it says captions.
It's at the very top of the shared screen. It's not
Close.
in the little box.
It's right.
oh, that
Yeah.
options. Oh, I see it now.
I think it's
okay.
on green and then
Yeah, I see it now.
Good.
I still not have. I cannot still find.
I can't find it either.
Yeah, Tiffany, help me.
Yes.
How to use the annotation?
Annotate.
And yeah, how to use
How do
it?
I use it?
Yeah.
As in, how do I make it active for everyone? Or
I see on my left side that there's a pencil, a square with a T or something, but I cannot. When
I
click,
see. So I'm on Jamboard. You can use annotate on any kind of screen. Because this is a Jamboard, I can understand why you would think you would need to to do it from there. You only use those symbols on the left side when I share the Jamboard link with you. Right
view
now,
option.
Zoom to
View
annotate. So sorry if that confused everybody. And so the Zoom has its own annotate feature, which you'll need to, I heard someone say it's hovering over the top of
I
the
know.
screen. You
Tiffany,
found
now
it?
I can use it. Now.
Yeah?
Yes, thank
There
you.
you go.
Thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
was that you? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, celebrate. Great.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll take about 15 more seconds if anyone else wants to add. Thank you, Amina, for putting it in the chat. Great. Fantastic. All right, so we have a pretty good range here. And a range of a lot of different little choices that you made to annotate. So this is really fun in class. And even what you all just did, where you're helping each other find the buttons and helping each other engage in the class activity. This is so great for your learners to be doing too, right? They're building community, they're supporting each other, they're using language to communicate how to complete a task, and it's working on a little small digital literacy skill. So if they're struggling to do the activity like we have been a little bit, that's fine. It's actually really great because it's a productive struggle towards a goal. And now it's those of you who've never done it before developed a new skill and ability on Zoom.
Can I
So
ask a question,
fantastic.
Tiffany?
Yes.
It looks like sometimes every once in a while, a person's name who made each mark like pops up. How is there some way to control that? How does that work?
Yeah, like as in turn off the name.
Well, no, I was just thinking if my students are using it they would want to probably see each other's names, like who did what mark.
Oh,
Mm.
sure. Yeah, I don't know how to do it so that they actually stay. I just know when the person is actively moving theirs or actively making a mark, it'll say their name and then it goes away. So I don't know if there's a setting in Zoom where it stays longer.
Mm.
So maybe an idea is I would have to have them each use a different color, and they would have to know which one is, who has which color.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. There's also a text box, so they could use a text box and type their name and put their name where they'd like it to go.
Mm.
Too. Great, fantastic. So it looks like we have quite a range when it comes to the participation or the engagement in our classroom. We look like we have some one-on-one, we have some of these I don't know how to actually read, but some people have maybe a range going on here. Maybe it's from one day it's at a 1 and some days it's at a 6, I'm not sure. And some people have pretty high levels of participation. So it's great that we have a range and that you're aware of this. So hopefully all of you, whether you're at a 1 or at a 9.5, you'll learn something tonight that you can use to further engage your learners. Great. So I'm going to clear this out. This is something that I can do from my screen, and I can just clear viewers' drawings. So just so you know, if you're on PowerPoint and you have them marking, or you're on a Microsoft Word form and your learners are marking on there, if you go to the next slide, all that art that they made is still going to be on the screen. So you'll need to clear it out before you move forward.
Mm.
All right, great. So we're going to move into a little bit more of a collaborative space. I kind of dreamed up this little activity. Since we are all part of the MCAEL Coalition, we now have an advice column in our local newspaper. And our advice column is called Ask an Adult ESOL Instructor. So people write to us to get advice and feedback that we can share. And all of these letters that we're going to see soon are from people who want to learn more about how to engage learners in their classroom. So to come up with these topic areas, I took your responses from the registration around the key problem areas that you were having for engagement in your classroom. And I kind of coded them into 4 different categories. So one challenging area that people have shared is getting learners to talk, or learner talk time in their classroom. Another was technology. Another was working with multi-level learners and how do you engage them. And the last is energizing learners, especially for those of us who have evening classes. So shortly, I'm going to send you into a breakout room, and you're going to be assigned one of these letters from our news column, or from our advice column. So you're going to read the letters, and then as a group, you're going to discuss and brainstorm different ideas for engagement based on the problem and the advice that the writer is seeking. So the way that you will share, hopefully one person in your group has Jamboard experience. If not, I'll come and help you. You can share your screen with the group after I share the link with you. And then you can contribute your thoughts and ideas over here on the left-hand side. So Kim, this is when this toolbar comes into play. We'll use this for Jamboard. You'll go down to the 4th one down, and this is sticky note. So you'll click on sticky note, and you can type your response on sticky note, and then push save, cancel out if you're done. And you can click on this and drag and drop it and move it around to wherever you want. Okay, that's how we'll make responses. You can also make it bigger by clicking on this big dot and zooming out and in. Okay. So right now I'm going to drop the link to the Jamboard into the chat. So everyone should be able to have access to it. All right. And I see some people showing up. If you're new to Jamboard, from the instructor side, you can see up here that people are starting to come in. We have anonymous llama, an anonymous giraffe, right? We have 7 people that are currently in the Jamboard. Okay, so you can see when people enter. All right. Oh, we're getting hearts and everything on the board still. Fantastic. All right. So right now I'm going to divide you into 4 breakout groups. And the name of your breakout group will be one of these topic areas, learner talk time, technology, multi-level learners, or energizing learners. And so your job is to find that page here in the Google on the Jamboard, and you can look in the bottom left-hand corner, and I did a little hashtag for the different topics. Okay, so you'll find technology, that might be a thing, technology. You have little hashtags in the bottom that you can use to find your page, and you'll have about 10 to 15 minutes in your group to come up with as many engagement ideas as possible for that particular question. And then we'll come together and share out some ideas together. Okay. Questions, comments, anything that can be made clear for you?
Yes, Ms. Ross, this is Zulfa.
Yes, Zulfa.
Can you please zoom your the screen a little bit bigger, even with glasses? I have hard time reading.
So that you're talking about the words here?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, so this is good. So all of you will have editing power. So if that is an issue for you, you can click on this box and there's this drop down here. And you can make it bigger, as big as you want. So I can go a little bit bigger and make it subtitle size. I can make it display size. Well, that didn't work. I guess it can't. So I can change the side here. Or if you'd like support, perhaps someone in the group can verbally share the question with you as well. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So any other questions or supports?
I can't get into your Jamboard.
Okay. So what happens when you click the link, Jonathan?
I don't see the link.
Okay, so I'm going to drop it in the chat again. Are you in the chat in Zoom?
Okay, I see the link.
Okay, click.
So wait,
There,
we should
is that
join
you?
this?
So do I open or copy?
You don't have to do, did it open when you clicked it? What did,
No idea.
okay, so
I'll
when
like
we go,
there's a pop-up that says meeting chat. So everything that people have chatted is showing up, and your link is in there twice. So I clicked on it, and then it says open the link or copy the link.
okay, click open. Is that you?
I don't know. Is it?
Well, what we'll do is when we go into our breakout room, if one person in each group can share the screen, share their screen from the Jamboard, that would be really helpful for the members that aren't able to access, okay? And if you need supports, I'll be coming in to check on each and every group.
Before you leave, I just want to know how we're going to know the what group are we going to join?
Fantastic. So I'm about to open out your breakout rooms, and it's going to say on your breakout room which question. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, I clicked on that already. Can I go back now?
Me
It's
too.
okay. So no, you're okay.
Yeah.
You just helped a group out if it's not yours.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right, so pay attention when it starts to invite you to a breakout room. It's going to say learner talk time, technology, multi-level learners, or energizers, and it also has a slide number. So that'll tell you where to go, okay? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Grace, will you be joining a room?
If you need me, I can join, but I'll stay out.
I don't know. I don't have any site to follow the break room. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
So I haven't started the break room yet.
Yeah.
So you'll see it here shortly, okay?
Yeah.
And we are all here to support. So if you don't have a if you don't know what's going on, I'm sure your group members will help you, or I'll be there to support. All right, so I'm going to open the rooms. And if you'll join your breakout room. Okay, some people will get you here.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. And then Zulfa, do you see where you can join, got an invitation to join a breakout room? Thank you so much, Grace. I appreciate it. Thank you all for taking the time to contribute. By show of hands, who's first time, who was doing Jamboard for the first time tonight? Whoa, okay. Well, kudos to you, because this is a new technology for a lot of people. If you have a Gmail, you can have access to it and you can create Jamboards. I will share with you a couple of sessions that we had. I think there's one on how to make a Jamboard and how you can use the Jamboards in your classroom. It's really a great engagement tool. There is a little bit of a learning curve, as you can see, to get everyone using it. But once everyone does, it's a tool that you could use daily in your classroom. Super duper engaging. So thank you all. Oh, Anne.
Yeah, I just, I opened the Jamboard, but then if one person's sharing, only the person who's sharing can be adding things to the Jamboard, right?
Nope. Anyone can add it anytime. Everyone has free use of the Jamboard.
So I could using my version of the Jamboard that's open, I could have added a sticky note.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's okay, it's synchronous.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Great. Good question. So here's what we'll do, because given the time, we don't have much time for sharing, but there are so many really great resources here on the Jamboard and ideas. And you came to get these ideas, so we want to make sure you get them. So what I'm going to do is right after this, I'll email you the link again to this Jamboard, and we'll keep it open and live for the next 2 days. I'll contribute ideas. I ask that all of you can come back and visit the other pages and contribute your ideas. And then by Monday, I'll print off a PDF of these and share these with you. So you have all of these different ideas these different tips and ideas that you can try in your classroom to increase your engagement, okay? Sounds good? Sounds good. Okay, so in the chat here, I'm going to drop a survey. Another engagement opportunity. This survey only takes 3 minutes, so I please ask that you do take your time to complete it. It just gives your feedback on today's session, what you liked, what you gained, and what we could do to continuously improve our sessions, like make them maybe 30 minutes longer. We'll see. All right. And before we go, can we get a couple of people maybe to share one thing that you learned new that you could apply in your classroom around engagement that maybe you didn't think about before? We'll go with Mary, then Jill. Oh, you're on mute, Mary.
So I was just looking at this one slide that you've got up there, which is trying to get more people engaged. And I like that idea. It's called, I didn't know, milling exercises. I've not been familiar with that, but it just made me think of, like, if you're teaching idioms, or if you need a little activity and you could give first sentence and the second sentence, and then have them go around and try and match up the sentences and then have to figure out to explain the idiom. Would be a great way to engage everybody. So that was a great, I didn't think about doing something like that. It's a great idea.
Yeah, and there's so many ways you could use that, right? A word and a definition, for example, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of endless, maybe, those possibilities there.
Great idea. Yes, thank you.
Sure. Jill, something new.
I actually, this isn't really new, but I keep forgetting that these things exist. I love that we were just using the annotate, very simple function in Zoom. I could just see my students having a blast with that. So I'm going to try and think of some way to incorporate that in a lesson.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jill. And can
Thank
we
you.
take one more before we go? Maybe it's not new, but something you forgot about or used to use. Bernice.
Well, I'm going to make a comment rather than this, I guess I'm a slow learner. I think it would be great if you had a short video clip of each of these so we could actually see the teachers and the students doing it in class.
Ooh, no pressure. I see thumbs up. That sounds like a large undertaking. I will.
Well, no, I mean,
Agree.
you could tape them. It could be 10 or 15 minutes, but for example, you said we can use different methods such as popcorn reading. I've forgotten what that is. I'll look it up. But it's there. There's good information on here. I'm not complaining about that, but to visualize it, because I'm not a techie like some people are.
Yeah.
I am. Oh, Beth, you can't be old as me. But anyway, I'm learning with technology, and I enjoy the information and the workshops that you're gracious enough to give us. But I need to see it in action to replicate it. That would help me, and then I could do it with my students. That would be the only thing. I love the ideas, but I really do need to see
That's a
the real
great.
thing. And I'm
that's-
sure there are teacher volunteers that would mind doing that. Something
Yeah,
that
I
would
mean-
take 10 minutes maybe.
That's a great idea. Does MCAEL have its own YouTube channel?
We do have our own YouTube channel, and maybe this is something that we can talk about the possible. We'll have to look at permissions, right, for learners and all of that. But I'm just gonna make this one last comment. We'll close out for the people that need to go, and then those who can stay and linger. But I mean, there might be some possibility there if people were instructors and they had permission from the learners to film, that they could show themselves modeling some of those activities that we could post to our YouTube
Or
or
use
some
your
other shared
teachers.
space.
Use your teachers as, and let the teachers play the students. I
Exactly.
don't care who does it, and I don't want to violate any legal things. I'm not talking about that. But I think if we could just see it being done,
Mhm.
it would stick with us, and then we could make the adaptations and changes based on our students' needs.
Great.
Rather than just reading a sticky note. That's where I am. I know other people may be beyond that, but that's where I am.
Okay, that's really helpful feedback. And we'll take that in and see maybe we'll do some modeling sessions or something with specific activities. That's really, I think that could be really doable. But I want to honor the time, so we're going to close out here. If some people want to stay around and linger and talk or share ideas, we definitely welcome that. I can hang on for, if you probably just heard my kids saying, Mom, so I can hang for about 5 more minutes. But thank you all so much for being here. I will send a follow-up email. It'll have this open. You can add your ideas. Even if you have YouTube video links for some of these activities, that would be great to share as well. So feel free to unmute, say bye to everybody, and thank you so much for joining.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Tiffany.
Thanks,
Thank
Tiffany.
you.
Bye-bye.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, all.
Bye-bye. Nice
Bye
to meet
bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Tiffany.
My
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you.